The Gamer Down.
Hello friends, and welcome back to The Gamer Down. This is your host, Dark Hostess, and today we're looking at Jolly Rover, a point and click adventure game. And here are the collectible section, which is labeled loot. And as you go through the game and unlock different parts, you unlock loot. So let's set sail on this little adventure. This is the special edition version, by the way. And let me just read the box. Jolly Rover is a light-hearted, swashbuckling 2D point-and-click adventure in a pirate setting, containing a cast of 25 skillfully animated and voiced scurvy dogs and over 60 beautifully rendered scenes. The game follows the short and stubby tale of young Gaius James Rover across 3 wild and untamed tropical islands as he attempts to fulfill his dream of starting a circus, hampered only by pirates, villains, and voodoo, love, and considerable lack of loot. It features over 60 beautifully rendered scenes to explore, 25 colorfully fully animated and voiced characters. It's a traditional point-and-click adventure with simple one-click interface.
My word.
I'll try not to talk over the voice acting so you can hear a little bit of it.
Let's say hello.
That's an important part to a point-and-click adventure game if you're going to be listening to it for a long period of time.
Hello, chaps. James Rover at your service.
I be thanking ye for that cargo, old Jolly Rover.
That rum is for Governor de Silva, you scoundrel.
Aye, so it be, pup.
That's James Rover to you, you filthy pirate.
You're Jolly James Rover.
No, just James.
Suit yourself, you lily-livered landlubber. I be Captain Howell. Now, my rule be, any we be taken alive be getting the chance to join our merry crew.
And as you can see, the voice acting is above par. It is very, very top-notch voice acting and top-notch graphics as well. I mean, artistry. I mean, for a point-and-click adventure, they don't go over budget on the graphics, but as games go, the graphics here are very easy on the eyes and really entertaining and funny. And the story is very funny too. I mean, dog pirates. What can be funnier than that?
Fancy pants. Ye be lacking a hat. Pirates got to be having a hat, good and fancy like.
And here in the first part, I was just trying all the options, and just so you could hear all the different responses. And one thing I do like about this game is the puzzles aren't gonna ruin your brain for life. The puzzles are easy enough, and they're intuitive enough to where you're gonna figure them out fairly quickly. So even a young person would enjoy this game, I believe.
Good. We be reaching an agreeable arrangement. Now, I can't have ye stumbling about getting in the way of the crew, so ye just have to sit tight till we be making port.
When will that be?
While the winds be fair and the loot be good. A month, maybe 2.
Wait! I can't be in here a month? All right, Gaius. It's up to you. You've got to escape this brig, commandeer the ship, and finish that delivery. Those pirates will rue the day they tangled with Gaius James Rover.
Ah, yes, and now the actual game actually begins. After 3 weeks of searching the joint, we've gone a little bit crazy here, trying to formulate our mad plan to get out of this crazy little brig we're in here. And
I'll take another look
it's
around.
very, it's very simple game. I mean, most point and click adventures, they're all over the place. They range from being too easy to so hard you'd have to be Einstein to figure them out. But this one is kind of in between. It's not too hard, and it's not
It looks
you know,
interesting.
not too easy. And here you can see I'm just checking around the room and clicking on all the items. You know what you're supposed to do in a point-and-click game. You know, you're always supposed to click on everything. And with this game, I highly recommend clicking on everything because everything has a very funny narration to it. So
wow, a real pirate.
Everything is worth listening to.
Ho. What's this?
And you know, with such spectacular voice acting, you're going to want to click on every single thing. And there, I found my first little clue here. And the loot is at the bottom of your screen, and all you have to do is just drag your mouse down, and it pops right up.
I could drink.
You know, I love little, you know, just such intuitive features such as that. Instead of having to fumbling through an inventory screen. This is a very fun and interesting game that I think most anyone would enjoy. And all of the just the funny little anecdotes and clues that are around, such as a box full of crowbars, but unfortunately you don't have anything to open that box.
Heavy, solid, and
so yeah, those are the kind of jokes, but they're pretty funny.
Ah,
you know?
My sweet Beatrice, my silent companion. How I love thee. Behind your
and as you
eyes,
see, you're at the very top of the screen. You're also instructed on exactly what you're supposed to do under your quest. So that makes everything much easier. And here, polish your delights. And what that is, if you just hold down your space bar, all of the clues in the entire room get highlighted. And the one you're supposed to click on is the escape kit there. So, I mean, they make it very easy. I mean, if you get stuck, I mean, the hints are built right in, and that's all you need, you know, to proceed with the game. And so you don't have to click out of the game and go search message boards and everything like that. So that makes life much, much easier. And here we are. We've made ourselves to the next room. And we found our disguise, finally, our pirate hat. Here, listen to the dialogue. It's hilarious.
What be all the noise?
It be nothing. Me hearty.
Hey, you ain't sounding much like Davy. Twerk for that silly hat, I'll not be knowing you.
And the point here is you have to convince our good buddy here that we are indeed Davy. We have to recount the story of one of our adventures accurately. And luckily, our little parrot buddy steps up to the plate to help us here.
We were a pair of young princes. Where be that again?
You see here, he's asking, he wants you to recount the story of your adventure.
I have no idea.
Go on, Davy. You'll be telling the story better than I, if you are, Davy.
Yar, just give me a moment to jog me memory.
Davy, me tail.
Pardon?
What are you on about, Davy?
Over here, you bilge rat. You never be getting past Melvin like that.
Melvin?
Ye be listening here. We be busting out of this ship.
And why do you think I want to carry you around with me?
Stow away! Fire in the hole! I'm melting!
Shh. All right. What do I have to do?
Start by getting me out of this cage, chum bucket.
And so we're on to our next puzzle here. We have to get our little parrot friend out of his cage, and then he'll help us with our story to recount to Melvin, which will get us past Melvin. So... you know, these are the kind of adventure games that I love, like the point-and-click ones that I love because they make sense. I mean, there's so many of them that just make no freaking sense. You know, you tie a rope to a bird or something like that and throw it off a cliff. I mean, you know, it's just not intuitive at all. And
I can't open
you're doing a lot of guessing. And this game, you don't have to guess. You can just proceed along with the story, and you know it's a little challenging, mind challenging. You know, the puzzles you have to figure them out, and they usually have a little twist to them. Like the lock is rusty, so I'm unable to use the keys right off. That would just be too easy. And so what you do is, you just look around like you normally would. And like I've mentioned before, everything is worth clicking on because there's always some very, very nice dialogue to go with that. And you can see here I'm using the highlight feature, like by pressing the space bar to give you hints and give you clues to where you need to go. And the key ring here, it had 2 keys on it, so you have to figure that at least one of those keys fits somewhere else. And the door to the brig is locked, so it makes sense that the key would go in the brig door. So that's what I mean. It's intuitive. I mean, you don't have to break your brain figuring these puzzles out. They're not that hard, but they're challenging enough to keep you interested in the game. And you also want to click on everything to make sure that you pick up any items that you need, such as like the rope and the scarf and all those good things. And here, I even got stuck a little bit, but I also wanted to look around. When you see a passed out pirate, an unconscious pirate on the ground, you have to click on those. But I like this game. This is one of the few treasures in the point and click world. There's so many bad point and click adventure games that I've been bringing quite a few of the reviews of point and click adventure games. One main reason is that they get a lot of views. So that's one main reason I do it. And because there's obviously a huge audience for these types of games, and not many people review them. So and there's a heavy need for it because there's so many crappy ones out there. So at least you get to see the game before you buy it.
Remember where it be when we be getting through that keg of rum?
And another cool thing is you can zoom through the dialogue here just by pressing the right mouse button, and that way you can you're not stuck into the dialogue in case you have to recheck with some one of the characters again, and that's always nice. I mean, don't you hate when you're stuck in the dialogue and you've maybe accidentally clicked on a character? Yeah. Anyway, we use the keys with the brig door finally, and then, of course, we need some oil. And what has oil? Well, a lamp has oil. One of the old-timey lamps has oil, at least. And, alright, with that, we just have to go back to the hold. And with that oil, we can finally use it on the lock. But first, we have to use it on a rag.
I can't just throw hot oil
or
all
a
over
piece
the
of
lock.
cloth.
I might get some on the parrot.
And I had picked up a scarf just a few minutes ago but right next to the pirate that was unconscious. So you just mix the oil.
That doesn't go with the lamp.
Yeah, the oil doesn't go with the crackers, but the oil goes very good with the scarf.
Fishy oil.
And now we can use that oily scarf on that lock and get it unlocked.
There we are.
Much obliged, Squire. Tally-ho!
Hey, that tickles.
And now, as you see, we have the parrot, and he'll give us vital information. Like, as you see, you just use the parrot on yourself. Hello. And you get a little cutscene here where you can talk to the parrot and get clues on how to proceed off this ship here. And so he recounts the story of you and Melvin in Port Sickle with 10 days. And now you have all the clues that you need to get past Melvin. So, that's what I'm talking about, a game that makes sense, a point-and-click adventure game that makes sense. I mean, here's one. And not many of them are out there, but here is one, and it's a very fun game.
He's a pretty Polly.
Scupper the fancy-panched feather wearer.
Was that an insult?
Pieces of 8! Pieces of 8!
I'm having trouble.
And the parrot, he'll also give you clues on what you're supposed to be
Getting
doing
past the
next and
In sunny
everything like
Portugal,
that.
young
And you can
prince
also
has got
re-listen
tickled
to
10
hints
days in
and
their
clues
messes.
as you need them. So, yeah, very easy.
Okay.
You know, they don't make it hard on you.
That's
Very
all for now.
intuitive.
Batter the hatchlings.
Ahoy there, Melvin.
Who there,
And now with our newfound information, we should be able to get past old Melvin.
Port. Sickle.
Oh, that be the place.
And we got the
How
place
he
right at
threatening
least.
to kill all the both of us. But instead, he be throwing us in the
But
big
I had
orb.
even already kind of forgotten what the second part was. So you see, or not this part, but the last part.
Days.
Yeah, and when he be letting us out, remember what he be having us do?
Here I was like, yeah, what was that again? Yeah, I picked the wrong thing, but luckily you're not penalized for picking the wrong clues. And sometimes it's even a good idea to pick the wrong clues because you get to hear even more dialogue.
In silk dresses.
Nay, that not be it.
I knew I'd get it eventually. Yeah, there we go. Swabbing the decks. That was the correct one.
Swabbing the decks.
I knew the dresses part was
In
right.
silk dresses.
They be good times.
Finally scored.
I
And
bet
finally
you
have
leave
got
you to your
past Melvin
duties.
and can move on to the rest of the ship
Don't
here.
be a stranger, matey.
And with that, I think you've got a pretty good idea how this game is and how good it is. And it's a very good game and worth the money. It was worth every penny. And I will definitely play
Yes.
through it,
Very nice.
see the end of it.
Pokey things.
So, this has been The Gamer Down, and I am your host, Dark Hostess, as
what
always.
died
And
here?
be sure and
I've
subscribe
got to get a window
and
open.
check out the other reviews when you have time.
It's a big fat
Yeah, they're there for you.
pirate holding
So-
a bottle of rum.
I'll see you next time.
If I can just... That's a fine stove, but I don't need to cook anything now. Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. Hey, peppercorns. Now I can make my famous Jamaican jerk chicken. I'd have to find a way to grind them up first, though.